Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Chase. Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be discussing everything new in Operation Void Edge of Rainbow Six Siege. Operation Void Edge brings in tons of new content, and starting off year 5 really great with 2 new amazingly fun operators. But before we dive into the video, I do want to remind you guys to subscribe if you're new to the channel and turn post notifications on so you don't miss a video, and join the Discord with link down below in the description so we can play some time. But of course, obviously, the first thing that you're going to notice that's new to Rainbow Six Siege is the attacker Jana and the defender Oryx. I'm not going to spend too much time discussing these operators as I've done it enough in the past, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what they do. But essentially, Jana has a Gemini replicator unique ability to herself where she basically deploys a hologram of herself that can move around the map freely. It only has 1 health, however. It cannot vault, it cannot break anything, and it cannot shoot. Also, it is on a recharge rate, so it essentially is unlimited drones. That is going to be very powerful in high ranks. I see a lot of Pro League players loving her. Oryx is the defender, and he has the Rima Dash ability and the hatch climbing ability. Now, essentially what he is he is a Hulk of a man with absolutely incredible physique. His Rima Dash ability really allows him to charge through anything in the game. You know, walls, barricades, people, Monty especially is something that he counters very well. Also, the hatch climbing ability that he has where he can jump up and grab onto and vault through hatches is going to be absolutely insane. It will be great to get off great flanks. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on those operators. We already know what they've done. We've talked about them a lot in the past, and we will likely talk about them a lot in the future. Of course, the biggest changes that we're going to be looking at is the new map rework coming to Oregon. I actually have a video that I uploaded a couple weeks ago discussing everything that is new to the map, as well as some things that you might want to learn about to be able to hold down the sites more effectively. If you haven't got a chance to play the new map rework or haven't got a chance to really learn the map that well, there's a discovery queue that you can always play, or there are tons of guides on YouTube for changes on this map. Essentially, some things that have changed is Upstairs Kids has got a complete redesign, and so has Basement, to make them a little bit more viable for the attackers. These were 2 sites that were very hard to hold, and it just was absolute chaos for the attacking team to get into the site, plant the diffuser, or frag out. Also, they added a hallway that extends from Big Tower to Kitchen, which is an absolute needed change. I thought we needed a way to get to Big Tower from Small Tower, and this is it. One thing Ubisoft wanted to do with this map rework was to make rotations easier and safer for both attackers and defenders, and I completely understand that. Something that's been begged for a long time is a barricade debris consistency throughout the server. That way one person is seeing the same exact thing as the other person on the other side of the barricade. This would go on for 4 years in Rainbow Six Siege and cause so many unnecessary deaths because you can't see what the other person is seeing. You don't see a hole, but they see a hole and they get the easy kill on you. That's no longer going to be the way. Actually, if you destroy a barricade now or break a barricade, anything of that matter, it will just immediately disintegrate. This is a change that has been begged for by the community for so long, and I love that the new development team is absolutely listening to us on this. This is something that was just so stupid in competitive matches that it was just so annoying. Easily one of the worst ways to die in Rainbow Six Siege. Attacker drone spawn is not random anymore. When playing on attack, your drone will now always spawn on the same side of the building as the one that you first chose your operator to spawn from. That's absolutely insane because honestly, we ran into this issue when Siege first released. People would peek out the windows to see where the drones were coming from. They'd know where the people would spawn, and then they'd have an easy spawn peek on them to kill them because they'd have the location of the enemies. Anyone with a slight bit of map knowledge knows that if the drones are coming from one direction, that they're likely going to spawn from that direction, and that will allow an easy spawn peek. This one really left me scratching my head because of that, but I'm hoping that Ubisoft takes the measures to hopefully nerf spawn peeking. Something else you'll immediately notice as soon as you load into Rainbow Six Siege is that there is a new player hub change. Essentially, we have an all-new updated UI system, and I'm all for it. It's a whole lot more modern looking. It displays some of the operators and shows what it could look like. Also, the whole sledge holding the hammer at the wall for ranked is very cool. Of course, with the launch of this season actually comes a new Ash Elite set where they combined with the people who make the Tomb Raider games to make a Ash Elite Lara Croft set. So yeah, if you absolutely love Lara Croft or Tomb Raider games, you'll likely be buying this. It looks pretty cool. It's not something I'm going to buy because I just don't think it fits in this game, but other than that, it actually does look like Lara Croft. Also, the Elite animation is one of the best in the game by far. It's super cinematic and super cool. Once again, it just fits Lara Croft as a character. I was kind of confused though why they would give Ash another Elite skin. I mean, I guess they did release the other ones for free to the public, public and they didn't really make money off of something like an Ash Elite skin that they knew was going to make a lot of money. But nonetheless, it's still a very cool skin. Also, this is great news for those of you wanting to get some new operators recently but don't want to shell out the real life money to buy the passes. You can basically buy Mira and Jackal now for 10,000 renown, both. That is super cheap. Lion and Finka are going to drop down to 15,000, and Mozzie and Gridlock's cost will decrease to 20,000. Now, of course, this is what everyone is here for, and it is all the operators getting buffs or nerfs this season. So we're going to go into each of these one by one, and I'm going to give my thoughts and humble opinions upon them. So the first thing I want to highlight is that Recruit is getting a rework. It's no longer going to be CTU based loadouts, but instead just weapon loadouts that are pre-made. At first, I kind of understood this and was all for it, just because a lot of the old weapons in the game just aren't good anymore, or they aren't up to par with some of the current weapons. But the more and more I thought about it, is this really what we needed to be devoting our time to when, you know, no one in the player base plays Recruit except for the meme? I think anymore, even with the beginner's edition, you get Jaeger, Ash, and a couple others. I'm not for sure on that one. Don't count me on that. Castle got a buff. He is going to be getting his M45 removed and replaced with the Super Shorty. It is actually a very good secondary shotgun. It's going to be able to allow him to open up kill holes, do whatever he must do with those, and make it to where he might not have to run impacts all the time. Frost, this is a big buff to her that I don't think anyone is noticing right now, and she got a holographic added to her C1 9mm. This is absolutely insane looking sight. I love it on the gun. It makes it to where it has very little recoil. It is pinpoint with wherever you're putting it. And even though I'm a reflex sight guy, I think I'm going to be running the holographic sight on Frost's C1 for quite a bit of time. IQ is also going to be getting a buff to her electronics detector. I always thought this should have been in the game, and I was always curious as to why this wasn't. But basically, when she has it out and you're playing objective games such as secure the objective or bomb, if she scans it and sees the biohazard container or the bombs, she will be able to, ping them on the map. So basically, they will be revealed to the whole team. I've always wondered why this was not in the game, because, you can literally see them through walls. She would be able to know where it is. Why not just call it out? Lesion is actually going to be getting a hefty nerf, and he's one of the operators getting a big nerf in this update. His goo mines are only going to be visible to him when he is in direct line of sight or within an 8-meter distance. Now, I've actually tested this out. If you are someone who doesn't rely on the audio cue or doesn't know the audio cue, you're definitely going to be messed up by this. But honestly, this was a nerf that needed to happen. He was too good of an operator. He had been dominating the game and been at the top of the game for about 2.5 years now. Also, there's no longer going to be impact damage if you step on the goo mine. This is something that I think is going to be a heavy hit to him, because that little amount of damage adds up over time. However, with the removal of the initial damage, it is going to get its damage per tick increased to 6 instead of 4. This is going to basically make it to where you have to remove the goo mine from your foot, or you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Also, something being removed from Lesion is the fact that he can no longer get kills with frost traps. He would throw them on the frost trap. If you fell on the frost trap, you would die if you also hit the Lesion. So if you were in a down but not out state, you are basically now immune to the goo mines. You're not going to be dying as soon as you fall on a frost trap. This is one that I don't necessarily like. I think that it's kind of stupid that they're nerfing something that is a combo in the game. I think anytime that, players use teamwork or a combo to do something, that it should stay in the game, because it's meant to be powerful. It takes 2 people to do it. And of course, this wasn't, something that was breaking the game either. So what do you guys think about the nerfs coming to Lesion? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, Twitch is going to be getting a little bit of a nerf. Basically, what they're doing is they're making her not a fragger anymore. She was never meant to be a fragger, and I completely understand that. That's basically what they said with this nerf. Essentially, what is occurring is her Twitch drone is only getting 3 shots, and it will take 30 seconds to recharge a new shot. That is a huge nerf. Also, the drone only does 1 damage per shot instead of 10, so it's not going to be able to melt your health. Also, they're going to be adding increased recoil for Twitch's FAMAS, and honestly, there isn't really any way to talk about this yet. I personally feel like it is increased, but if you have a brain and know how to control the recoil, it does make a little bit of sense, and it's a whole lot easier to control. It's honestly just straight up and down from the little bit that I've used it. But yeah, basically, Twitch is no longer going to be a dominant fragger in the game, and that's going to be a heavy hit to her. Basically, she can only use her gadget as, the way to get rid of bandits, mutes, whatever that may be. The last operator getting a buff is going to be Warden, and essentially, his Warden glasses will now run on a charge system and can be activated as long as there is more than 20% left of his charge. Basically, what this does is it makes it to where there's no cooldown when you want to use his gadget, and I love that. I don't think there should have ever been a cooldown, it makes no sense to have one. DMRs across the board are getting faster destruction of barricades, hatches, and soft surfaces. The Vector 45's damage is getting increased to 23 from 21. A slight change, but it won't be enough to make it good again. Also, Dokkaebi, Maverick, Nook are all getting frag grenades. Also, the last thing I want to mention is the Ela nerf. Now, this is a little bit weird in my opinion because I've tweaked around with it a little bit, and I don't see it as a nerf at all. I actually think she feels a little bit better. If you don't know what happened a couple weeks ago, basically they buffed Ela's recoil and made it to where the first 17 shots are a whole lot easier to control. Now they've nerfed her again, and it's only reduced recoil for the first 11 bullets, and it's going to have increased resettle time after burst firing. It's going to have faster uptime to increase vertical recoil, and it's going to have slightly increased recoil and spread. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but like I said, the little bit that I play with it, I just don't really see a change. If anything, it feels better. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comments section. Also, for the last thing in the video, Clash is back. Let's go. Everyone can play Clash again. But yeah, that's everything new in Rainbow Six Siege Operation Void Edge. What do you guys think about this new season so far? Let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn post notifications on. Join the Discord with the link down below in the description, and I will see you guys later. Peace.